To our top story now, Prime Minister Modi chaired a review meeting on the COVID vaccination drive with senior officials in the PMO's office. The meeting, PM expressed satisfaction at the rising speed of vaccinations and stressed that it is important to carry this momentum forward. Prime Minister directed officers to work with states to ensure that the pace of testing does not go down. Prime Minister was briefed about the age-wise vaccination coverage amongst healthcare workers, frontline workers and the general population in various states. Prime Minister stressed that efforts should be made to help countries with India's rich tech expertise in the form of CoWIN platform. Prime Minister was also informed that 3.77 crore doses have been administered in the last 6 days, which is more than the entire population of Malaysia, Saudi Arabia and Canada. With a mega vaccination scam being unearthed in West Bengal, war of words between BJP and TMC has intensified. BJP has now demanded a probe by the central agency in the matter. Here's the news report.
TMC celebrity MP Mimi Chakrabarti gets a COVID vaccine shot. And within days, a full-fledged vaccination racket has been exposed. Political rumblings from Kolkata to Delhi. Key accused Debanjan Dev impersonating as an IAS officer arrested for organizing fake vaccination camps across Kolkata. Pictures of the key accused with the top TMC netas surface. BJP fires fresh salvo to corner ruling Bengal government over the fake vaccination drive.
पूरा झूठ चल रहा था, उसके पीछे लाखों रुपया का लेन देन था, आज सामने आ गया है। इसलिए हम अधिकार है सीबीआई इंक्वायरी मांगने का, क्योंकि ये सरकार कोई भी घोटाला का खुलासा नहीं करता है, इसको दबाने का प्रयास होगा और टीएमसी के बड़े-बड़े नेता मंत्री इसके साथ जुड़ा हुआ है।
Leader of opposition Shubhendu Adhikari demanded a central probe into the scam.
আমরা বলেছি যে এর একটা ভালো বড় এজেন্সি দিয়ে এর ইনভেস্টিগেশন করা দরকার। শুধুমাত্র কলকাতা পুলিশ হানাতানাকে দিয়ে ইনভেস্টিগেশন করলে হবে না।
BJP IT cell chief alleges that fraudsters are being patronized by influential members of the ruling TMC. Meanwhile, TMC has denied any links to the mastermind in the vaccination scam.
इसके साथ किसी पार्टी का कोई लेना देना नहीं है। अगर ये सच है तो जो लोग बैंक फ्रॉड करके फॉरेन भाग गया था उसके साथ तो प्रधानमंत्री जी का पिक्चर है। हम वो ऐसा इरेस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं है।
Reportedly, 1,500 people have vaccinated at such camps, but so far, no one has complained of any side effects of the jab.
BJP wants a fair inquiry. They want a CBI inquiry. That is what Shubhendu Adhikari has also claimed for BJP leader. Now, the Trinamool says that the Kolkata police is enough to take on this particular investigation. As per the Kolkata police sources, SIT has been formed that will be headed by the detective department in this particular case. With camera person Kiranjit, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today.
Oxygen demand is dynamic and it is not correct to say consumption was more or less, says AIIMS Director Randeep Guleria. This the day after a massive face-off over an interim audit report that said the Delhi government exaggerated the consumption of liquid medical oxygen during the second wave. AIIMS Director, who heads the subgroup that led Delhi Oxygen Audit, dismissed the entire controversy, calling it unnecessary and said that the report is just an interim one, adding that it was difficult to say what the final report will actually say. A political row has broken out over the audit report. The interim audit report said that Delhi exaggerated O2 consumption during the second wave. The report also says that the oxygen allocation was done using a wrong formula. Ruling Aam Aadmi Party said that the charges in the report are cooked up. BJP alleged criminal negligence by Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. The Delhi Congress claimed people died because of Kejriwal. The Delhi Disaster Management Authority on Sunday relaxed further restrictions in the national capital under Unlock 5 guidelines. Outdoor yoga activities and gyms will now be allowed to function with 50% capacity from Monday. Marriage halls, banquet halls, hotels will be allowed to hold wedding ceremonies with maximum of 50 people. While for marriages taking place at homes or courts, only 20 people are going to be allowed to gather. Last week, Delhi opened shutters on bars and lounges at 50% capacity from noon to 10 p.m., while all the markets and malls were already operational. Restaurants are open with 50% seating capacity from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. The gradual unlock opened up public parks, gardens, golf clubs as Delhi saw a steady dip in active COVID cases. In the latest study, ICMR has estimated that the third wave of coronavirus will not be as devastating as the second wave of the deadly virus. The study demonstrates plausible mechanisms for a third wave could include a new variant of the virus causing COVID-19 that is more transmissible, at the same time capable of escaping prior immunity. However, the study also points out that imposing lockdown is highly effective in limiting the transmission of viral infection. Study also points that use of masks, physical distancing during social interactions are all key factors shaping the transmission rate. Strengthening India's complex healthcare system is another pivotal factor pointed out in the study. Also, the ramping up of vaccination coverage could substantially reduce the third wave burden caused by the mutating virus. The country is barely out of the second wave of the killer coronavirus, and amidst the threat of a third wave looming large, there's another mutant variant that is already wreaking havoc. The variant of concern happens to be Delta Plus. It has already claimed 4 lives. Apart from infecting 52 people in the country, Maharashtra government has also decided to not lift curbs after the state reported the first death due to the mutated virus. Take a look at the report.
India records another death due to Delta Plus. An 80-year-old lost his life after fighting this variant of concern in Ratnagiri. The other 20 infected with the new mutant are safe according to the government. So far, 4 deaths have been reported in India related to Delta Plus.
उसको कई व्याधि या कई कोमॉर्बिडिटी थी कि जिसके और एज भी था कि जिसके वजह से उनकी मृत्यु हुई है. जो बचे हुए 20 है वो 20 के 20 बिल्कुल दुरुस्त होके अपने घर गए हैं. इसलिए डेल्टा प्लस वेरिएंट को कोई बहुत अभी इमीडिएटली डरने वाली बात नहीं है.
Maharashtra has the maximum number of Delta Plus cases with 21 cases detected so far. Of these, 9 are from Ratnagiri, 7 from Jalgaon, 2 from Mumbai and 1 each from Palghar, Sindhudurg and Thane. The state is taking no chances. The administration has declared 6 villages in Ratnagiri and Jalgaon districts as restricted. 6,000 RT-PCR tests have been conducted in these villages.
जो हमने एक राज्य शासन ने स्वास्थ्य विभाग ने जो एक प्रोजेक्ट हाथ में लिया है कि जिसमें हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हम 100 लोगों की सैंपल्स की जीनोमिक सीक्वेंसिंग, होल जीनोमिक सीक्वेंसिंग कर रहे हैं. अभी परिस्थिति बिल्कुल काबू में है.
The State Health Department has predicted a third wave in the next 2-3 weeks. CM Uddhav Thackeray this week held a meeting with the collectors of the affected districts. From now, each district will have separate plans. The local administration will decide on restrictions based on the actual case load. Total unlock will not happen in a hurry. Maharashtra government has also decided not to lift curbs after the state reported first death due to the mutated virus. Tightening the existing curbs, the state government has decided that instead of a 5-level unlock, there will now be a uniform 3-level restrictions in all districts. Malls, theatres and multiplexes will remain closed, while restaurants will be allowed to operate at 50% capacity till 4 p.m. After that, only takeaway and parcel services will be allowed.
Restrictions are not being eased out, vaccination is being promoted, and secondly, apart from this, Maharashtra government has also decided to go in for upgrading the medical infrastructure. There are hospitals where the fact that they need to be upgraded for the third wave is the simple reason that Maharashtra government believes that there will be more than 50 lakh cases in the third wave. Out of that, at least 25 lakh people will really depend on the government infrastructure, which is the reason why this entire upgrade is extremely important. With cameraman Vijay Desai in Mumbai, Vidya for India Today.
The Enforcement Directorate claims to have solved the puzzle of how crores of alleged extorted money reach former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh via Sachin Vaze. As per the Enforcement Directorate, former Mumbai cop Vaze collected 4.7 crore rupees from orchestra bars of Mumbai between December 2020 to Feb 2021. The amount that was allegedly collected on the behest of Deshmukh was then handed over to Kundan Shinde, the personal assistant of former Maharashtra Home Minister. The ED claimed that out of 4.18 crore rupees was sent to Delhi-based shell companies. The firms then transfer the same amount to Shri Sai Shikshan Trust, which is owned by Deshmukh's family, in the garb of a donation. The ED claims that Deshmukh gave 40 lakh rupees to Vaze as good luck money. Deshmukh's aides Kundan Shinde and Sanjeev Palande were also given cash money. The ED has recorded statements of Delhi-based firms to Mumbai cops, bar owners who have allegedly confirmed the money trail. The Enforcement Directorate has widened its probe into Maharashtra extortion case. On Saturday, the former State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh skipped the Enforcement Directorate's summon and sought more time to probe before the agency. This as Deshmukh's personal assistant and secretary were arrested earlier, will be in ED custody till 1st of July. Here's our report.
Raids, summons, and arrest of aides. ED heat on former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in the alleged extortion and money laundering case. After carrying out multiple raids on Friday, including at Deshmukh's residences in Nagpur and Mumbai, the Enforcement Directorate on Saturday summoned the former Maharashtra Home Minister for questioning in the case. However, his lawyers submitted an application before the ED asking for more time.
जो एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए था उनको, वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स अब तक हमें नहीं दी गई। इसके लिए हमने लेटर दिया है बाकायदा, जिसमें हमने डिमांड किया है कि आप हमको वो सब केस के बारे में जो जो आपको रिक्वायरमेंट्स है या क्वेश्चंस है उसका हमको डॉक्यूमेंट्स फर्निश कीजिए। अकॉर्डिंगली वी विल फर्निश आवर रिटर्न डिटेल सबमिशन। समय का वैसे कुछ नया जो अपीयरेंस दिया।
The summons were issued after ED's late-night arrest of Deshmukh's personal secretary Sanjeev Palande and his personal assistant Kundan Shinde in the money laundering case. India Today learns that ED officials have found money trail of rupees 4 crores that was allegedly extorted from around 10 bar owners. Sources say money was collected by dismissed Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze on orders of Deshmukh. The collections were then diverted to Deshmukh through the shell companies located outside Maharashtra and owned by his close relatives. The recent ED action triggered political war of words, with BJP claiming Deshmukh's arrest will follow soon.
संजीव पालांडे और कुंदन शिंदे ये अनिल देशमुख की सहायता करते थे। कल देर रात गिरफ्तारी हुई। मुझे विश्वास है आने वाले कुछ दिनों में अनिल देशमुख भी गिरफ्तार होंगे।
महाराष्ट्र की जांच एजेंसी भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से काम कर सकती है। शिवसेना के मंत्री हो, शिवसेना के विधायक हो, एनसीपी या कांग्रेस के विधायक हो, सबको इस प्रकार से लपेटने का काम चल रहा है।
In a letter to the Chief Minister, Uddhav Thackeray, Parambir Singh alleged that Anil Deshmukh had ordered the now suspended API Sachin Vaze to collect 100 crore rupees from various bars and restaurants every month. Now the trouble is mounting for the former minister. The big question is, will Anil Deshmukh be arrested now? With camera person Samir Shanbag, this is Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, reporting for India Today.
Breaking news just coming in. Mysterious blast near a technical area of Jammu Airport. No one is injured. Police and forensic teams at the blast site at the moment. That's the latest coming in. Sunil is now joining us for the latest on this. Sunilji, tell us about this blast in Jammu. Any kind of inputs coming in? Looks like it is it's a mysterious blast. what are you picking up from the authorities at the moment?
Well, JT, the details right now are very, preliminary and sketchy, but what we have learned from our sources that a mysterious blast took place in the VRs at the technical area of the Jammu airport. Fortunately, no one has been injured, but obviously it's a matter of concern because it's a high security area, and now that's why police and our forensic teams have reached the spot and they are collecting the evidence. But officially, there has not been any word from the authority. But yes, all angles are being probed. Even the terror angle is being probed, although nothing has been confirmed as of now. The investigating authorities are there on the spot, whether it's the forensic team, police, or the other security forces. They are there at the spot and they are collecting evidence, and we may expect a statement from them shortly.
All right, we leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us with the very latest details on the story. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is going to be visiting late today to review the security situation in eastern Ladakh region. He's going to be inaugurating the roads and bridges built by the Border Roads Organisation to improve connectivity for the defence forces in that area. Rajnath's visits come after India and China held diplomatic level meeting on Friday. During the talks, both the nations agreed to resolve outstanding stalemate through dialogue. However, China recently blamed India for encroaching upon its territory. After Prime Minister's meeting with all the parties of Jammu and Kashmir, Gupkar parties remain adamant on the restoration of Article 370. Former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah, said they won't back down from their mission. PDP leader Mehbooba Mufti spoke exclusively to India today and spoke about the struggles of Kashmiris and that she's not here to play power politics. Take a look.
While Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired an all-party meeting with Jammu and Kashmir leaders, it was seen as a thaw in the ties between the two sides. The meeting was described as cordial and a good beginning by all participants. But it seems the restoration of Jammu and Kashmir's special status remains the main sticking point. The Gupkar Alliance leaders have reiterated that they won't back down on 370 demand.
बीजेपी को 70 साल लगे अपना 370 को हटाने का एजेंडा कामयाब कराने में। हमें अगर 70 हफ्ते 70 महीने या जितना टाइम लगेगा हम अपने मिशन से पीछे नहीं हटेंगे।
Omar's father and NC President Farooq Abdullah accused the successive governments in New Delhi of breaking their promises.
The first Prime Minister of India promised us plebiscite, but went back on it. Narasimha Rao ji, before election, promised us autonomy and said sky is the limit, but not independence.
I want people to understand I am very serious about it.
In an exclusive interview to India Today, PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti took a swipe at centre for repealing the special status of Jammu and Kashmir.
There is nothing like convenience about it. It is for the restoration of 370 and 35A. As long as it takes us, we are going to stick together and struggle together for it. So from outside change.
Going a step ahead, the PDP chief announced that she won't contest polls till pre-August 2019 situation is restored.
Anything and then we are there. People do politics for the sake of power. Power is very important. I have already said I am not going to be in the race for power.
You have told me today you will never contest an election until Article 370 is restored.
Yes, very much. I mean it.
PM Modi's Kashmir huddle has been described as a good beginning, but the level of duri is still at an all-time high between Valley and Delhi. While centre is clear that it won't backtrack from August 5, 2019 decisions, the Gupkar Alliance is also showing no signs of flexibility. So the big question is, will this meet bring about any change on the ground? Bureau Report, India Today.
That's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, on this bulletin. For further news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or download the app.